Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Arifatul Amalinda from English Language Education Department. And how are you today? I hope you guys are healthy and don't forget to stay safe and do physical distancing. Okay everyone, what are you doing during quarantine? And I think you guys cannot be separated from your cell phones, and you also play social media. Is that true? But do you know guys that social media can be toxic for us? I have an experience that I'm afraid to play social media because of my insecurity. So in this video, I will explain about how social media can be toxic for us. Okay, this is the reason why I choose the topic. Based on my experience, I feel that when I play social media, for example Instagram, I feel overly insecure and uncomfortable until I decided to uninstall the application and not play Instagram for 2 months. Okay, so this is my outline. I will explain about definition of social media and then the purpose of social media. And the next is the reason of social media can be toxic. And the fourth is how to handle it. And the last is conclusion. Okay, first, the definition of social media. What's social media? There are two definitions about social media. The first is from my opinion, and the second is from an expert of the communication. So, in my opinion, social media is online media that is used as a means to interact with other people online. And according to an expert of communication, Michael Cross, to 2013, social media is a term that describes the technology that people use to exchange information, collaborate, and interact through web-based message. Okay, next, what's the purpose of social media? There are 4 purposes of social media. The first is self-actualization, and the second is establish personal relationships, and the third is forming community, and the fourth is marketing media. So I will explain each the point. The first is self-actualization. For most people, social media is a place for self-actualization. They show their talent and uniqueness on social media so that it can be seen by many people. It's no wonder why many artists are competing to be famous on their social media right now. And the second is establish personal relationships. Social media also plays an important role in engaging in personal relationships. There are countless social media users who find life partners, friends, business partner on social media. And the third is forming community. Online community are very easy to find out, both on forum sites and on other social networking sites. Social media becomes a forum for discussion about the community. Online media that have the same interest to communicate with others and exchange information or opinions. And the last one is marketing media. Yes, of course, the number of social media users is very much. Of course, becoming a very potential place to market something. A growing online business today is heavily influenced by social media as a promotional place. Okay, so how can social media be toxic for us? What's the reason? So I will explain 4 reasons of social media can be toxic for us. The first is can damage mental health, and the second is can make people forget the time and just by play social media, and the third is forced to find out the latest information which is usually not very important. And the last one is keep away from people who are nerdy. The first is can damage mental health. According to research published in the journal A Clinical Medicine, it was not that women who used social media were 50% more at risk of depression than men who were only 35%. The study compares children who use social media 1 to 3 per day, 1 to 3 hours per day. The study also found that the use of social media also influences the increase in online harassment, lack of sleep, and body shaming, which in turn would increase symptoms of depression higher. And also, in my opinion, social media creates social inequalities, especially on Instagram. Many people show their happiness. And the second is can make people forget the time and just by play social media. And for this second point is it is very clear that when we play social media, we tend to forget everything that should be done. Many things on social media that we think are fun that make us forget the time. And the third is forced to find out the latest information, which is usually not very important. Often we find news about celebrities, yes, right? And sometimes the level of our curiosity is high, so we look for info about it, even though it is not important for us. And then the last one is keep away from people who are nerdy. For this point, a real example is when we gather with friends or family. Often we and others are more busy with our cell phones and ignore the surroundings. So, to stop it all, I have several solutions how to handle it. The first is reduce the duration of play social media. The second is make works through social media. And the third is making social media a place to sell. And the last one is understand that social media is not a reflection of the real world. So the first is reduce the duration of play social media. We make a schedule or set our cell phone to give a warning when it exceeds the time limit for playing social media. The second, make works through social media. Well, maybe we can make a video cover singing or education video or maybe even a video that can entertain our followers. And the third is making social media is a place to sell. For someone who has a business soul, social media is also very good to be a place for buying and selling, but must remain honest and not harm others. And the last one is understand that social media is not a reflection of the real world. Social media and the real world clearly have differences. Sometimes what people show on social media does not match with what is happening in the real life. This is the conclusion from my presentation. The first is social media is a place for us to discover new things, and the second is play social media as needed, and the third is we must understand that what we see on social media is not always the same as the real world. And don't forget to be wise in playing social media. Okay, next. This is my references from my presentation. And then any questions? Thanks for your attention. Have a nice day.